Okay, so kindly refers to the questions.
Then state the value of x for which the function h rho h is not defined. For the part B, find the function of gx such that h rho g is equals to 5 minus x over 5 minus 3x. So determine the composite function for h rho h. So where we have h rho h for the function is equals to hx. So meaning that substitute the h into the h, where we have 2 bracket. The x we need to substitute 2x minus 1 over x minus 3 minus 1 over x. So we need to substitute again the function 2x minus 1 over x minus 3 minus with the 3. Next, we need to equate the denominator for the numerator part as well as the denominator part at the same time. So we will have 2 bracket 2x minus 1 minus x minus 3 over x minus 3 for the numerator part. Next, kindly focus on the denominator. So 2x minus 1 minus 3 multiplied with x minus 3 over x minus 3. So rewrite the situation where we have the h rho h x is equals to 4x minus 2 minus x plus 3 over x minus 3 multiply with, we need to flip the situation where we have x minus 3 over 2x minus 1 minus 3x plus 9. So simplify the situation and we will have h rho h x is equals to 4x minus x, we will obtain 3x plus 1 over 2x minus 3x, and we will obtain negative x plus 8 after we simplify the situation. Next, state the value of x for which h rho h is not defined. So meaning that negative x plus 8 cannot be equals to 0. So x cannot be equals to 8. So for these kind of cases, state the value of x. So meaning that x is equals to 8. Because if we substitute 8, and the situation will become 0. As we all know.
Okay, so tengok sini ya. Dia kata composite function for the h rho h. So means that usahalah buat benda ini. So kalau untuk begini, pelajar kita selalu dia takut atau dia kurang lagi confident dekat kawasan yang macam ni, yang banyak fraction. Okay, so apa yang you perlu buat adalah tulis besar sikit, kemudian buat step by step, iaitu equate the denominator, nampak? So ada banyak level, tak mengapa. So you kena clear. Bila you tulis you punya instructional set ini, you kena clear. Kalau numerator, numerator. Kalau denominator, denominator. Then ulang lagi, numerator, denominator. Faham? So yang ini benda yang you perlu tahu. Yang warna merah ini maksudnya dia divide. So bila dia divide, okay, bila dia divide, kita kena flip dia jadi begini. Okay, so the denominator akan jadi numerator for this moment. Then ringkaskan dia. So di sini, apa mistake yang akan berlaku? Iaitu tambah dengan tolak lah. Pelajar dia tak nampak sangat. Okay, so dah siap, full stop, maksudnya dah selesai. Ini jawapan saya. State the value of x for which the function is not defined. So, as a denominator, it cannot equate the 0, right? So, kalau tak boleh equals to 0, maksudnya x cannot be equals to 8 lah. Tapi, Jawab soalan. State the value of X. So you tak boleh tulis X cannot be equals to 8. You kena jawab soalan, you kena tulis X is equals to 8. Kena jawab soalan.
Something divided by 0, it's undefined. So X equals to 8, which is the value of X, that the situation H, row H is not defined. By referring to the question B, find the function gf such that H row G is equals to the function given. So now H.
So nampak soalan ni kena clear. Dia tentang composite function. So ada dua situasi. Satu adalah cari internal function, satu cari external function. So kita kena clear kita nak cari internal atau external. So kalau kita nak cari internal, cara dia adalah substitute. Kalau kita nak cari external, biasanya kita kena guna let. So take note bila nak guna substitute, bila nak guna let. So kita ada internal and external. Okay?
Bracket gx is equals to 5 minus x over 5 minus 3x. So meaning that the function of gx needs to be substituted into the function h. So where we have 2 with the x will become gx minus 1 over gx minus 3 is equals to 5 minus x over 5 minus 3x. Rewrite the situation where we will have 2 gx minus 1 bracket 5 minus 3x equals to 5 minus x bracket multiply with gx minus 3. Expand the situation and we will have 10 gx minus 6 gx multiply with x minus 5.
So, adakah rasa confused? Kalau rasa confused, you boleh tulis gx ini, tulis g dulu sementara waktu. Kalau you rasa confused. Okay? Then kena berhati-hati, letak bracket. Nampak tak saya letak bracket? Okay? Sebab saya risau, so saya letak bracket. So, after that saya expand. Nampak ni 2gx ini expand jadi 10. Ini dengan ini dapat 6gx. Tapi belakang ada x. Faham? And then negative 5 and then positive 3x. So, kena berhati-hatilah di sini. You bukan tak boleh, you boleh. Cuma you kena beri perhatian sahaja. So, teruskan.
Plus 3x equals to 5gx minus 15 minus gx multiply with the x plus 3x. Next is to simplify the situation. So in here, we can see that we have 10 gx minus with 5 gx followed by.
Boleh ikut? Saya rearrange. Nampak saya rearrange benda ini dengan ini, saya rearrange. Okay, saya cuba nak simplify. So saya akan transfer everything, then saya akan rearrange.
Negative 6 gx multiply with x plus with the gx equals to negative 15 plus 5 plus with the 3x minus 3x. So simplify the situation and we will obtain 5gx minus 5gx multiply with the x equals to negative 10. So factor the function gx. So we will have gx multiply with 5 minus 5x equals to negative 10.
So take note, soalan sebenarnya nak apa? Kita buat panjang macam ni, akhirnya soalan nak apa? So pelajar keliru kan? Sebenarnya kita nak cari GX. Faham? Kita nak cari GX. So itu yang kita tengah expand, tengah simplify, tengah factorize. Tujuan dia nak cari GX.
Rewrite the situation. So the function of gx is equals to negative 10 over 5 bracket 1 minus x. So simplify the situation and we will have negative 2 over 1 minus x. Or you may express your answer in this form, where we have 2 over x minus 1.
Boleh? Boleh ke tak? So rasanya okay. Sepatutnya idea sudah ada. Just that dia nak deal dengan operation ini, dia keliru. Okay? So tak apa. Kena nanti rujuk semula. Okay? So next, kita akan teruskan ke soalan yang seterusnya. Question yang keempat. Okay? Question yang keempat.
X greater than negative 1. The second function is gx, which is equals to x squared plus 2x. And the domain given is x greater than negative 1. State the range of f. And then find the inverse of f. So now my focus is look for the inverse. So let y is equals to fx. F inverse y is equals to x. So now we have to substitute. This one become y. So where we have y is equals to ln x plus 1. Then rearrange the situation. In this form, we can consider as log form. So kindly make it become index form. So where we have exponent y is equals to x plus 1. X will be equals to exponent y minus 1. So as we can see, the x actually is equals to f inverse. So f inverse y is equals to exponent y minus 1. Rewrite the situation. F inverse x is equals to exponent x minus 1.
Okay, so di sini take note ya. Kalau pensyarah you ajar cara lain untuk cari inverse, tak mengapa. You follow sahaja cara pensyarah you ajar. Faham tak? Jangan keliru, jangan panik. Sama sahaja. Ini adalah cara saya. Pensyarah lain ada cara masing-masing lah. So tak apa, semua sama. Yang penting inverse betul. Faham tak? Yang penting inverse itu betul. Clear? So state the range of f and find the inverse of f.
So we have the function exponent x minus 1. So now we are going to determine the domain for the inverse. So the domain for f inverse is equals to negative infinity until infinity, where the negative infinity and infinity is not included. So
faham tak kenapa macam ni? So benda ini, kalau you refers to chapter 5, function and graph, sepatutnya basic knowledge dia adalah kalau you jumpa exponent. Okay, kalau you jumpa exponent, you punya domain for the f inverse, kalau exponent mesti negative infinity until infinity, where the negative infinity and infinity is not included. Okay, clear? Clear? Okay, so kalau you rujuk sini, okay, kalau you rujuk sini, you kena hafal lah. Maksud saya kena hafal. Okay?
That is the domain for f inverse. So based on the basic, the domain for f inverse actually is equals to the range for f. So in this case, the range of f is equals to negative infinity until infinity.
Faham tak apa yang saya cakap di sini? Boleh ikut tak? Sebenarnya ini adalah basic knowledge. Okay, ini adalah basic knowledge. Domain for f inverse adalah range kepada f. So kalau you rujuk soalan, domain for f adalah range kepada f inverse. Okay, range kepada f inverse. Kalau tak pasti, tak mengapa. Ingat saya kata apa? Di bawah description ada link untuk you belajar benda ini. Faham? Boleh ya? Okay, so continue. B.
F. So in this case, the range of f is equals to negative infinity until infinity. B. Determine whether the function g is one-to-one function and state the range. So in here, I'm going to sketch the graph in order to determine whether the situation is one-to-one function or not. So given the function gx is equals to x squared plus 2x. So number one, the shape. So the shape is U shape because A is greater than 0. So where we will have a minimum point.
So untuk ni pun sama. Masing-masing ada cara dia. Tapi saya suka state one by one supaya detail sikit. So bila detail sikit, saya dapat banyak info, saya boleh sketch graph saya lebih, orang kata lebih tepat. Faham tak? Lebih tepat. Bagi saya lah, ini adalah cara saya. So dia tak mungkin tengok saja, then boleh terus buat graph. Okay, saya tak sampai tahap itu lagi. So saya kena nyatakan semua info, baru saya boleh buat graph.
Second step, I'm going to find the intersection. If you look for x-intercept, so y will be equals to 0. So 0 is equals to x squared plus 2x. So factor the situation, x multiply with x plus 2 equals to 0. So the x will be equals to 0 and x is equals to negative 2. If the x is equals to 0, meaning that the y is equals to 0 for both values. So there will be the point 0, 0 origin and negative 2, 0. Next part, we are going to find the y-intercept. So when x is equals to 0, y will be equal to 0. So we will have another point at the origin. The third step is to find standard form so that we can find the minimum point. So y is equals to x squared plus 2x. So now we have to complete the square. Y is equals to x squared plus 2x plus bracket 2 over 2 squared minus 2 over 2 squared. So where we will have x plus 1 bracket square minus 1. So where we will have the standard form. So from this part, we can note that the minimum point will be negative 1, negative 1. So now we can refer to the graph. So kindly illustrate the situation. So number one, we will have the shape which is a...
Boleh ikut? Nampak tak apa yang saya buat? Saya buat begini, saya buat step by step ya. Saya buat step by step supaya saya dapat sketch the graph. Okay? So, apa-apa pun kena refer kepada soalan. Tengok sini, x must be greater than negative 1. When negative 1 is not included. Okay? So, tak apa. Sekarang saya nak mula sketch graph.
One, we are going to focus on the x-intercept where we have 0, 0. And negative 2, 0. So for this case, kindly refers to the question. The question mentioned that x must be greater than negative 1. So for this case, it is invalid. Next, kindly focus on the y-intercept where we have 0, 0 at the origin. The third step, we are looking for the minimum point where we have negative 1, negative 1. So the location of negative 1 will be around here. Now we can sketch the graph. So now the function will be y is equals to x squared plus 2x. So by using the horizontal line test, y is equals to 2. So we notice that the situation only intersect at 1 point. So the conclusion...
Boleh ikut? Nampak tak? So ini saya involve, ini saya tak involve sebab x greater than negative 1. Faham tak? Boleh ya? Okay. So minimum point saya ada. So ini saya tak nyatakan lah So saya tak buat apa-apa. So mula dari sini naik ke atas. So hanya separuh sahaja sebenarnya. Faham? So is that 1 to 1? Based on the question, is that 1 to 1? So the answer is yes lah, 1 to 1. So why?
Would be gx. So show that it is a one-to-one function. C. Hence, sketch the graph of the function f and f inverse on the same axis. So previously we already identified the f inverse is equals to exponent x minus 1. So now we are going to sketch the graph for ln bracket x plus 1. With the domain, x must be greater than negative 1. So now basically we will have the graph. So now kindly refers to the situation where we have the x greater than negative 1. So we can say that will be the...
So di sini pun sama, saya sketch step by step. Faham tak? Masa saya nak sketch graph saya untuk ln, saya buat step by step. Sebab ingat, kita tengah revision. Faham tak? Kita tengah revision.
Asymptote. So here we will have x equals to negative 1, which is a asymptote. Next, we're going to find the interception when x equals to 0. So we will have y is equals to ln 1, which is also equals to 0. So meaning that they will cut through at the x-axis at 0, 0. So the basic graph for the ln will be referring to the coefficient of the x, which is a positive. So if the x is positive, the graph will moving towards the right. So here we will have the graph for the ln. So here we will have y is equals to ln bracket x plus 1. Next, I'm going to use the reflection method to find the f inverse. So now refers to x equals to negative 1. If we reflect the situation, it will become y equals to negative 1 because of the reflection. So y equals to negative 1. So now kindly refers to the situation where we have the points of intersection is at the origin. So in here, after the reflection also, at the origin. Next, we have to sketch the graph for the exponent x. So kindly refers to the f inverse, where we have the exponent to the power of x minus 1. Where we have the exponent x, the coefficient is positive. So the graph will be moved towards the right.
Okay, so take note nah, saya ulang sekali lagi. So bila you deal with ln, you jangan risau. Okay, you jangan risau. Yang pertama, cari domain dia. Okay, cari domain dia. So di sini diberi, so kita ambil sahaja. So bila you cari domain, you nampak tak ada equal sign? Negative 1. So ini adalah dia punya asymptote. Okay, then kalau boleh cari intercept dia. Okay, cari intercept dia. So when x equals to 0, y equals to 0, so ini intercept dia. So rujuk dia punya coefficient, kalau dia positif, dia akan towards the right. So like what we have in here, towards the right. Kalau dia ln bracket 1 minus x, 1 minus x, minus x. So your graph will be towards the left. Okay, untuk contoh ini dia positif, coefficient dia. So towards the right. Clear? Clear? Okay. So next, kalau you refer you punya inverse, exponent kan? Domain dia apa? Ingat tak? Negative infinity until infinity, where the negative infinity and infinity is not included. Clear? Okay. So biasanya, kita tengok power dia. Kalau power dia positif, dia towards the right. Kalau negatif, dia towards the left. So, saya baca soalan, sketch the graph of f and f inverse on the same axis. So, meaning that di sini, x equals to negative 1, kita akan flip dia jadi y equals to negative 1. Okay?
So now basically our graph will be looking like this. So highly noted that this is the reflection axis, where we have y is equals to x. If you are new here, kindly consider subscribing to this channel and share this video to your friend. Thank you so much for watching this video.
So di sini saya ulang sajalah ya. Di sini ada dua kotak di sini. Okay, tentang chapter 5 atau tentang soalan-soalan yang berkenaan dengan soalan topik ini. Faham? So kalau you nak revision, sini you boleh klik dan pergi ke kawasan yang you nak itu. So tanpa pergi cari video dekat my channel. Okay, tujuan untuk memudahkan you lah. So sekarang kita akan pergi ke soalan yang kelima. Okay, kelima. So kelima adalah soalan asymptote. Okay, asymptote.
I'm going to discuss the example for limit. Determine the asymptote for the function fx, which is equals to 3x minus 4 over x squared minus 3x. So now we are going to first category, which is the vertical asymptote. So in order to find the vertical asymptote, kindly refers to the function, the denominator part, where we have x.
Okay, so sebelum kita teruskan asymptote ada dua, satu vertical, satu horizontal. So kalau you masih ingat example 1 tadi. Okay, example 1 tadi, first when x approaching 3 kan? X approaching 3. Itu biasanya kalau yang ada nombor, dia adalah vertical. Kalau x approaching infinity, normally itu adalah horizontal. Okay, boleh good? Boleh ya? So saya just bagi you idea, ada dua. So teruskan.
Square minus 3x, which is equals to x multiplied with x minus 3. So by referring to this part, we can see that x squared minus 3x cannot be equals to 0 because the situation will become undefined. So meaning that in here, x cannot be equals to 0, x cannot be equals to 3. So with this kind of method, meaning that we can determine the vertical asymptote. So in here, the vertical asymptote are x equals to 0 and x equals to 3. Because when you substitute the value of 0 and 3 into the function, then the situation will become undefined. Next, second part, we're going to determine the horizontal asymptote. So in here, limits when x approaching negative infinity for the function 3x minus 4 over x squared minus 3x. Another part where we have limits when x approaching positive infinity for the function 3x minus 4 over x squared minus 3x.
Maaf So tadi you refer ini, kalau nak cari horizontal asymptote, ini adalah kaedah dia. Makna dia, you mesti tulis towards the left, towards the right. Faham? So dia sekarang macam kembali ke example 1. Betul? Example 1B tadi. So dia adalah sama. So bila you substitute, you akan dapat infinity, infinity, atau kita panggil dia indeterminate form. So apa strategi dia? Dividing the numerator and the denominator with the highest powers of x for the denominator. Okay, so
that is the step for. So my suggestion for this kind of situation would be dividing the numerator and the denominator with the highest power of x for the denominator. So meaning that we have to refer to the denominator, and the highest power for the denominator is x squared. So meaning that we need to factor out the x squared for numerator and also the denominator. So limit when x approaching negative infinity, we need to factor out the x squared. So meaning that we have 3 over x minus 4 over x squared over x squared bracket, we have 1 minus 3 over x. So simplify the situation, limit when x approaching negative infinity, we will have 3 over x minus 4 over x squared the asymptote for the function fx, which is equals to 3x minus 4 over x squared minus 3x. So now we are going to first category, which is the vertical asymptote. So in order to find the vertical asymptote, kindly refers to the function, the denominator part, where we have x squared minus 3x, which is equals to x multiplied with x minus 3. So by referring to this part, we can see that x squared minus 3x cannot be equals to 0 because the situation will become undefined. So meaning that in here, x cannot be equals to 0, x cannot be equals to 3. So with this kind of method, meaning that we can determine the vertical asymptote. So in here, the vertical asymptote are x equals to 0 and x equals to 3. Because when you substitute the value of 0 and 3 into the function, then the situation will become undefined. Next, second part, we're going to determine the horizontal asymptote. So in here, limits when x approaching negative infinity for the function 3x minus 4 over x squared minus 3x. Another part where we have limits when x approaching positive infinity for the function 3x minus 4 over x squared minus 3x. So that is the step for us to determine the horizontal asymptote. So kindly refers to the left hand side. What we have to do is to substitute the value. So if we substitute the negative infinity into the function, and we will obtain negative infinity over infinity, where we will have the situation, what we call the indeterminate form. So my suggestion for this kind of situation would be dividing the numerator and the denominator with.
okay, boleh tak? So kalau you tengok soalan ini, sebenarnya you dah kembali ke example 1B. So you boleh rujuk, so you dapat indeterminate form. So this will be the strategy. So kindly refers to the highest power of x for the denominator. So where we have x square. So selepas ini saya akan divide semua dengan x square. Boleh? So saya akan divide semua dengan x square. So saya akan dapat benda ini. So hints dia apa atau key dia, 1 over infinity you obtain 0. So for this case you will have 0, 0, 1 minus 0. Betul? Betul ah? Okay. So kalau betul maksudnya teruskan, you akan dapat 0 over 1. So finally 0 over 1 is equals to, not equals to, approaching to 0. Okay, clear. So for the right hand side, kadang-kadang jawapan dia sama, kadang-kadang tak sama. Kena take notes. Okay, kena take notes. Dia bukan sentiasa sama. So kalau for this case, kebetulan dia sama, so saya tak repeat dah benda yang sama. Okay, saya tak repeat dah, saya terus salin sahaja apa yang sedah ada. Saya tak buat lagi benda ini, saya terus copy sahaja. Dan finally saya dapat jawapan saya approaching 0.
So for this example, the conclusion will be the vertical asymptote are x equals to 0, x equals to 3. For the horizontal asymptote, the situation will be y is equals to 0. So for more discussion about this kind of situation,
okay, boleh ya? So ini adalah untuk example 5. So sekarang kita teruskan lagi. Okay, so sekarang adalah soalan continuous. Okay, continuous.
the function f is defined in the interval for the interval -1 until 6 by the function where we have the piecewise function if the fx is continuous. So meaning that by referring to the condition of the continuity, it fulfills the situation.
So kalau untuk soalan ni, saya kalau jumpa piecewise, saya mesti akan buat number line. Okay, saya mesti akan buat number line. So ini cara dia, saya buat number line, saya mark down -1, 2, b and then 6. Okay, lepas dah siap, saya akan allocate the function.
Next, we have 2 to b and the function is x squared minus a. So we will have the function x squared minus a. So finally, we have the situation x minus 6 bracket squared minus 4 for the location b until 6. So kindly refer to this part where we have the equal sign. So meaning that if -1, we are going to substitute the function 2 minus x. As for the value 2, the function would be x squared minus a. And then as for the function b, the value, we need to substitute the function x minus 6 squared minus 4. So here we have the situation. So next, we are going to begin our discussion. In order to find the value a and b, so kindly focus on the value 2.
So, dia kata apa? Fokus dekat value 2. Maksudnya saya nak cari limits dia lah. Left and the right. So ingat di sini dia kata function dia continuous. Okay, so limit exists when x approaching 2. So
which is equals to limits when x approaching 2 from the right. The function will be x squared minus a. Since the situation already mentioned is continuous in the interval -1 until 6. So meaning that for the second condition, the situation fulfill. So for the situation, it fulfills the second condition where we have the limit from the left equals to the limit from the right. So kindly substitute the value. If we substitute the value 2, we obtain 0 equals to 4 minus a. So in here, a will be equals to 4. Next, we're going to discuss b. So limit when x approaching b from the left, and the function will be x squared minus a equals to limit when x approaching b from the right, and the function will be x minus 6 bracket square minus 4. So kindly substitute the value, and we will have b squared minus the a. So in here, the value of a is equals to 4. Equals to the right hand side. If we substitute the value b, and we will obtain b minus 6 square minus 4. So rewrite the situation. B squared is equals to b minus 6 bracket square. Kindly expand the situation. B squared minus 12b plus 36 minus with the b squared equals to 0. So finally, we have 12b equals to 36. B will be equals to 3. If you want to know more about the continuity,
boleh? Okay. So ini question 5B lah. So sekarang kita bergerak ke 6. Okay, saya akan lajukan sikit ya.
So in this video, I'm going to discuss the implicit differentiation. So by using the implicit differentiation, find the dy dx for the function xy plus.
So kenapa kita panggil dia implicit? Kenapa? Sebab x dengan y dia tidak boleh dipisahkan. So dia bercampur. That's why kita panggil dia implicit differentiation. So teknik ini dihasilkan untuk selesaikan masalah begini.
Plus cos to x equals to x squared multiplied with the y squared.
So di sini kita nampak ada xy, ada x square y squared. So maksudnya kita kena guna product rule. Okay? Product rule. So harap you masih ingatlah product rule yang saya nyatakan tu macam mana.
So we have the situation xy plus cos 2x equals to x squared multiplied with y squared. So kindly focus on the left hand side where we have xy. It is a multiplication. So meaning that we are going to use the product rule. So let the x as a u and y as a v. So the situation will be v multiplied with u prime plus u multiplied with v prime.
So ini adalah formula product rule saya. Formula product rule saya. So saya akan lajukan sikit.
So let's begin. So where we will have y multiplied with 1 plus u, where we have x. Then if we differentiate the y with respect to x, and we have dy dx. Next, focus on the cos 2x. If we differentiate the cos, we will obtain negative sine 2x. Kindly focus on the internal function. Differentiate the 2x, and we will obtain 2. Next, equals to, again, we have a multiplication, so meaning that product rule is applied. So where we have u, then we have v. So the situation will be the same, meaning that we will have v u prime plus with u v prime. So let's begin. V, where we have y squared, multiply with the u prime, meaning that you have to focus the x squared, differentiate the situation, we will have 2x. Plus, we have x squared, differentiate the v, which is y squared, so meaning that we will have 2y dy dx.
Sekarang okay? Boleh tak? Getting better? Implicit ini? So harap tiada masalah. So baca soalan, dia kata find the dy dx. So maksudnya we have to collect the like terms together. So means that rearrange. Okay, rearrange. So for example, so I rearrange, saya pindahkanlah semua benda ini, saya cuba pindahkan. Clear? So saya dapat dy dx saya bersama, so saya factor out x minus 2 x square y. Okay, so saya factor, kemudian saya rearrange, saya dividekan dia. Okay, saya dividekan dia dan saya akan dapat benda ini. So that is the question for 6A. Okay, implicit differentiation. So next we'll move on to parametrics, if not mistaken. Parametrics for 6B.
Y. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss the example for the parametric 2. Find the second derivative when t is equals to 2. So now, can we rewrite the situation where we have x is equals to ln bracket t squared minus 1. And the y will be equals to ln bracket t plus 1 power 2. By using the properties of log, we can bring forward the 2. So where we will have y equals to 2 ln bracket t plus 1. So now we are going to differentiate the x with respect to t.
So kena take note selalu kalau you tengok banyak example dia asyik guna properties, okay, atau law of log. So bila you tak buat begini, kejap nanti hidup you akan susah sikit. So mesti kena guna properties atau law of log ini, then bring forward, so you will have this one. Okay, so sekarang kita nak differentiate respect to t. Okay, differentiate x respect to t.
Dx dt is equals to 1 over t squared minus 1. Do remember to differentiate the internal function, and we will have 2t. We write the situation. So dx dt is equals to 2t over t squared minus 1. Next, focus on y. Differentiate the y with respect to t, and we will have 2. Differentiate the ln, and we will have 1 over t plus 1. Do remember to differentiate the internal function, and we will obtain 1. Rewrite the situation, dy dt equals to 2 over t plus 1. Next, we are going to find the dy dx. So the formula would be dy dx equals to dy dt multiply with dt dx.
So ini kebiasaan saya, selalu saya tulis formula. Sebab saya risau saya lupa. Okay, so saya akan multiply. Boleh? So jangan lupa untuk flip dx dt ni, flip. So saya ringkaskan dia. Okay, saya ringkaskan dia. Dan akhirnya saya dapatlah saya punya jawapan begini. So kena ingat, cuba ringkaskan dia. Okay, ringkaskan dia. Dan kalau tengok soalan, dia nak kita cari second derivative. So, apa-apa pun kena modify kita punya dy dx.
Next is to find the second derivative.
So, modify maksud saya tengok, saya buat dia begini. Ingat, nak differentiate kena get ready. Okay, kena get ready. Seterusnya, apa yang penting adalah second derivative, you punya formula. Formula u. Okay, selalu saya nasihatkan pelajar saya adalah tulis dia punya formula. Sebab kalau tidak, you tak tahu you buat apa. So follow the instruction, differentiate this thing respect to t. Then multiply with dt dx. Means that you need to flip. So harap tuan-tuan perempuan tulis formula.
Differentiate the dy dx where we have 1 minus t to the power negative 1 with respect to t. And then multiply with dt dx where we have t squared minus 1 over 2t. So differentiate the situation and we will obtain over t squared. Multiply with t squared minus 1 over 2t.
So you jangan terkejut ya, tuan-tuan perempuan, you jangan terkejut ya. You kata, kenapa tiba-tiba dapat ini kan? Saya dah bagi tahu. Selalunya saya hafal negative t to the power negative 1, saya differentiate dia, saya tahu dah. Saya akan dapat 1 over t squared. So kalau you tak nampak, you kena buat perlahan-lahan lah. Saya dah hafal. Bila differentiate ni, automatic dapat ini. Okay? So teruskan.
T. Simplify the situation. So the second derivative will be equals to t squared minus 1 over 2t cubed. So kindly refers to the question. The question asks us to find the value for the second derivative when t is equals to 2. So now we have the second derivative equals to t squared minus 1 over 2t cubed. Substitute the value of t, which is equals to 2, and we will have 2 squared, which is 4 minus 1 over 2.
Boleh? Boleh faham ah? So harap untuk soalan macam ni, you kena ingat yang warna merah ini. Okay? Yang warna merah ini. Kenapa saya guna merah? Sebab ini adalah benda yang pelajar selalu tak buat. So dia akan datang masalah sikit untuk dia. So dia akan buang masa di sini dengan sini. Okay? So untuk yang value dia 3 over 16. Faham? Okay, so saya akan bincang sehingga ini sahaja. Okay, so untuk question 7, kejap nanti saya akan open. So kalau boleh, you rujuk sendirilah. So untuk malam ni, saya dah bincang set 5. So harap ingat set 1 dah selesai, set 2 dah selesai, set 5 dah selesai, set seterusnya adalah set 3. Okay, so apa-apa pun saya akan post dalam community. So kalau boleh you rujuklah, post di sana dan you ikutilah perkembangan terkini.